Welcome back to the Good Green Home Show with Rich and Shawna. Good, helpful tips today because it is hot out. Hot, hot, hot.
I can't believe I wore a long sleeve shirt today. I think I'm crazy. I thought the air conditioning was going to be cranked up here in the studio, and I tell you what, they need to turn the thermostat down a little bit. I'm dying.
It is hot, and we are talking about ways that you can help your garden and your containers survive the heat.
Yeah, and just like me, because I'm wilting, plants can wilt too.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times in the summer, in the dead of the summer and the heat, at the height of the heat, that's when people go on vacation a lot. And so
disaster, man.
You can't water your plants when you're on vacation unless you've got a sophisticated, automated watering system.
Oh, there has to be a better way.
Some people have, but here's some good tips, especially if you're on the low budget.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite tips is actually the soil mix that you put in containers.
Okay.
I put a heavier soil mix in my container. It's usually 1 part compost, 1 part rotted manure, and 1 part traditional potting soil. And the reason I do this heavier mix is so I don't have to water as often in the containers. And knowing our hot summers, it's the way to go.
Yeah, it definitely will hold more moisture and won't dry out as quickly. But when your plants are in a pot, even with a better soil mix that's going to retain moisture better, you're still going to have to do some things if you're not going to be around for a few days to water, because a container or a pot will dry out much faster than the ground.
Absolutely.
And even the plants in the ground at certain points, when you get into that drought, like 4 or 5 days in a row in the 90s with no rain.
I come back, they're like crispy critters laying on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's horrible.
Absolutely. So we have some tips, and here we have a product called the Plant Nanny. And this is actually to be used with a wine bottle.
And we didn't have a wine bottle in the studio.
Or a 2-liter bottle. It will work. It'll work with this. Absolutely.
So here, I want to put this on. So you unscrew your bottle and you put it right on like that.
Boom. And here's the thing. This is clay. It's porous. It will actually allow moisture to come through it, but it's not going to just pour through. You fill your 2-liter with water, you put it on top of here, and then it will slowly release that moisture. It's not going to evaporate out of the plastic, but it's going to slowly release that moisture. This is a great way to reuse your 2-liter pop bottle or your wine bottle. And this is inexpensive. The Plant Nanny, the clay one, it retails for around $6.99, and I tell you what, it's a lot cheaper than coming back and replacing all the plants that you bought.
Here's another tool that I've seen in garden centers everywhere. Same concept. You fill it up with water, and then I hold that, and then I flip it over and put it in a container. I don't think that this works well for like a large ground planting. This is more of a container helper, don't you think?
And you know what else I like these for? I like these for your indoor plants.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it helps you save on making a big mess.
Like what you've got here, though. Rich brought in from the shop some really cool containers that you can use.
Don't you just love all the toys that I have to play with here? If you're a serious gardener, you want to hang around with me because I have all the gardening toys.
But self-watering pots, they come in plastic and ceramic. This happens to be a clay one. It is beautiful, actually. So you put water in the base and plant in the top, and there's actually a little hole here. You can water through there, so you don't have to lift the plant up every time.
Yeah,
really
I tell you what, that little hole to me is not the ideal way to do it, because that causes a lot of messes. It's a small hole. You need to have like a perfect funnel to go into that thing. If you got a little funnel and you could do it that way, then do it.
You're messy though.
Yeah, and that's what, usually these are for indoor. And you know what these are a perfect pot for is an African violet.
Oh, nice.
And I know a lot of times people use these for indoor African violets.
Right. But outdoor, when you're going to plant a vegetable and you're concerned about the organic nature of it, planting in a container that's safe, that's ceramic, that might be made of glass. I think you have some ceramic ones over there as well.
Right. And these actually have the attached saucer, which we've recommended on other shows before. And these are great for saving on the water mess. It has a hole in the bottom. It allows for the drainage, but it won't make a mess on your table or on your patio, wherever you put this.
Go to your local independent garden center, get those drought-tolerant plants, and make sure you plan for your watering this year. It'll make for a healthier, happier, long-lasting garden.
This is the Good Green Home Show with Rich and Shawna. We'll be right back after these messages. Hi, Rich from Alsop Home and Nursery in St. John here to remind you to think outside the box store and shop at your locally owned Best of the Northwest Indiana Region Garden Center.
Alsop Home and Nursery, the best of every season.
In Frankfort on LaGrange Road and St. John on Route 41. See their weekly circular at alsopnursery.com.